Hi, Alexios.
Hi, Bubba.
Hi, love. So, welcome back to my channel. It has been a while. I know I haven't posted in so long, but I am back and I'm starting a new series. I'm going to start a NICU series from one NICU mom to another. I decided to start this series just talking about like hard NICU topics that I feel like people don't talk about enough. And I think it's important to talk about this. I do feel like it will offer healing for not only myself, but also I'm hoping to heal and to help heal is the better word. Um, Another NICU mom. Like, I just want to be able to just have this like real talk and just for you to feel like you're not alone in this. So, the first thing I wanted to talk about was I feel like people don't talk enough about the feeling of leaving your baby in the hospital. Yeah, that's a hard topic. It's something that I get emotional every time I talk about it. So I'm sure this is going to be a little emotional for me, but that's okay. So, yeah, I just feel like we don't talk about that enough. Like that feeling, I remember the first time leaving the hospital, I had a cesarean, just given birth, and I was sitting in the postpartum unit. I was in the postpartum unit, and I remember even just hearing the babies crying that like made me feel like, no, I think I want to go home because the doctor had at the time asked me if I wanted to stay an extra day. Like basically I could have gone home after 2 days, but if I wanted to stay an extra day, I could. And I was just like, no, like I think I'm ready to go home. Like it's such an empty feeling just not having your baby with you. Um, so yeah. And then I decided to go home. And I just remember leaving the NICU and I just felt, I'm not the NICU, I'm sorry, leaving the hospital. And I just can't describe that feeling. You just feel like you're leaving your entire world in the hospital. And it's such an unnatural experience. Like you should be going home with your baby and instead you're not. You're leaving empty-handed. And I don't know, again, that feeling just felt so empty, just so empty. And even going home felt like, what am I going home to? You know, like I don't have my baby. It felt empty. At that time, I didn't even have his stuff out of like we had our baby shower. I didn't have his crib up. It was still at home in a box. Like I didn't have anything prepared, anything like together. I just remember going home to like where his corner would be in my bedroom and just seeing boxes, like just seeing, just like everything to remind me that I was not prepared for this. Yeah, and it's like not even that this was just one time. Like this was routine, like I had to leave that hospital every day. I remember leaving um just going to visit my baby every day, just having this same thing over and over where I would just go and visit him and then I would have to leave him all over again. The first NICU that we were in, I was able to stay with him overnight. The second NICU that we had to transfer to when he needed higher level of care, I was not able to stay there. It was visiting hours from like 6 a.m. to I forget exactly what the hours were, but it was just visiting hours. It felt so, I can't even explain that feeling. Like it just felt so like, I want to say like prison, but like that's such a bad way to explain it because, it's we're talking about my baby here, but it just felt weird. It felt very unnatural. I think the whole NICU experience truly is just an unnatural experience. Um, so yeah, and just having to leave him every single day was just so hard for me. I remember just like crying every day that I had to leave that hospital and leave him there. It was really just a lot, like it really was. And I feel like I wasn't really able to truly process that in the moment. Like I just felt like I was just living in survival mode. Like I wasn't able to fully process that. And now sitting down and being able to talk about it and process it, like it feels good. It feels good to be able to talk about this, which is also another reason that I started the series, because I just think these are conversations that need to be had. I would love to hear you guys' experiences, like in the comments about this topic. I would just love to have a conversation around this. And looking back at my entire NICU experience, I will say this particular topic or this particular experience was harder than I expected. I mean, I feel like nothing would have prepared me for that feeling. Nothing would have prepared me to be able to leave the hospital. I mean, had you even told me that like that's going to be hard, I think it's just something that you have to experience to know that feeling. And I know other NICU moms would understand like how that feels, and how it's so hard to explain that to people who haven't gone through that. And yeah, I want to say that was like one of the hardest things I in my life. Like to this day, talking about it, it really like I'm holding back my emotions because I'm trying to be like, I don't know, a little strong right now, but it's definitely something that is hard for me. And yeah, I just feel like that's just something that I get emotional talking about, like just leaving him there. Honestly, this is one of the parts of the NICUs that I feel like I'm still healing from, and I know I'm not alone. If you've ever walked out of the hospital without your baby, then I want you to know that you're not alone. And I will be sharing more of my experience through this series. So make sure you're subscribed, and I'll catch you guys in my next one. Bye.